Minnesota pilot's wife, Jennifer Lieber, sentenced for fatally shooting cousin turned lover inside mansion during drunk tirade.
You were in the house for 4 minutes in the kitchen area. Where was Jennifer?
She was right by me.
Okay, what were you guys talking about? It was 4 minutes.
We didn't. She was like hysterical. I asked her for a drink and she or like water, and she didn't have any. She was trying to give me her cup, and so I grabbed some ginger ale out of her fridge. It's probably sitting on the counter.
What did she say then?
She didn't. She's like, I think he's dead.
A teaspoon of sugar makes the medicine go down, and a little bit of incest keeps it in the family. I did not know that's how y'all got down up there in Minnesota. Her husband was a pilot. It's much more of a flex. It's much more prestigious to tell everyone at your reunion that your husband is a pilot rather than telling everyone that you're in a relationship with your cousin. But don't worry, it's not weird or anything. We just hook up over drinks from time to time. The options couldn't have come down to just you and Cuzzo having some sort of Lady in the Tramp moment back there in the pool house. Women left to their own decisions. Am I right, ladies? The estranged wife of a Delta Airlines pilot fatally shot her cousin turned live-in boyfriend. We like family, baby. Kissing cousins during a late night drunken rampage, and cried to cops that she really effed up before they found his bloodied body. Jennifer Lynn Lieber was sentenced to 25 and a half years in jail on Tuesday after she was found guilty of second-degree murder in the killing of David J. Nanovic inside her $1.7 million Minnesota mansion. Lieber had been drinking beer and blackberry brandy. Gross. How much you want to bet it was LaRue blackberry brandy inside her Scott County home, watching TV with Nanovic and his 10-year-old son when she became agitated and grabbed a handgun on March 4th, 2024, according to court records viewed by the Post. Lieber had allowed Nanovic, her cousin, to stay in her pool house with her son while she was splitting from her husband. Yeah, you can stay here. You can stay in the pool house, but you got to do something for me. During his stay, the two became close and began a romantic relationship with one another, court documents claim. And it doesn't specify that the reason that her and her husband was on the outs was because of this relationship. Let's be clear about that.
So, what is David and Jennifer's relationship?
Okay, so it's kind of confusing. So try to follow me here. Dave's mom is Jen's aunt.
Listen, if you didn't know in 2026 that you shouldn't sleep with your cousin, now you know. Consider yourself today years old when you found out that you shouldn't sleep with your cousin. If you are sleeping with your cousin, stop it right now. This wasn't like you met a guy, slept with them, then later on found out that you were related. That would be bad too. But this was consensual, deliberate cousin humping. There is no good that could have ever come out of this. Even in the event that there might have been a shot at reconciliation in the marriage, this would have killed it on the vine. Nanovic's son told police that Lieber called her close lover, racial slurs, and hurtful things during the tirade. Now, the witness, the lady during the interview, said that Dave's mom is Jen's aunt, but they aren't blood related. I don't know how that works or if it even works at all, but they were definitely playing the margins, revealing that she had been abusive to Nanovic and compared living in the home to living in hell. According to the arrest documents, Nanovic and his son managed to escape the home, fleeing to the pool house where they were staying, and that's where they should have stayed. It's not a guarantee that she wouldn't have come to the pool house, but you can't tempt fate going to the main house, the mansion proper, and trying to interact with her while she's at this heightened drunken state. At one point, Lieber's biological children went to the detached structure where they asked Nanovic to check on the dogs inside the home. The father-son duo attempted to return to the house, but were met by Lieber, who again threatened them before firing a shot, missing everyone. She's out of control. During a second attempt to check on the home, the 45-year-old father went inside but never returned to his son. Lieber's sons called her soon-to-be ex-husband husband, Stuart Lieber, saying their mother was not acting normal. Stuart Lieber, a pilot for Delta, and the ink on that divorce cannot dry fast enough for Stuart, called 911, requested a wellness check by police. Police arrived to find Lieber outside her home, sobbing and with her hands in the air, claiming she really effed up. Yeah, she did. Officers entered the home and found Nanovic lying unresponsive at the bottom of the basement stairs. He was covered in blood with a handgun next to him. Damn.
I mean, you know them. We
I
don't.
do.
What do you think happened?
I think exactly what
Makes sense.
it doesn't. I don't know.
I don't know, I guess if someone's pointing a gun at you and you kick the gun, say I'm pointing a gun at you and you kick the gun, how do I get shot?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's really.
I don't know. And that's.
You're the.
Speculating.
Honestly, I really don't think that she would ever do anything to hurt him, ever.
What's especially disturbing about this already disheartening story is that the children of the household had to experience this firsthand. If it wasn't for that 10-year-old who was pretty much on the front lines for the whole ordeal, if he didn't sound the alarm to get the other two children to call the estranged husband Stuart, and then Stuart calling the police for that welfare check, there's a very good chance that Jennifer would have either killed herself or tried to kill herself. At least now, the only silver lining is that she's going to get help. She's going to get some prison time, but she's going to get help also, and at least these children still have a mom. Lieber told police that she kicked the gun out of Nanovic's hands during a confrontation, and the weapon went off, striking Nanovic. I don't believe that. I would believe that she either shot him outright in some drunken rage, or she shot him in the process of him wrestling with her for the firearm, but at no point do I think he had a firearm in his possession. I loved him, she said. Ew, because it's not like cousin love. It's like cousin loving love. Officials ruled Nanovic died from a gunshot wound to the forehead. Yeah, I think she shot him outright. Fired at close range. She was convicted of second-degree murder on January 30th, following a 2-week trial. This was a tragic and preventable act of violence. Yes, it was. Scott County Attorney Ron Hocevar added, "We are grateful for the work of law enforcement and the jury in holding the defendant accountable. While today's sentencing cannot undo the harm caused, this was messed up. We hope it brings," this was one of the more messed up stories I've seen in a long time. "We hope it brings some measure of justice to the victim's family." Lieber will serve over 16 years in prison before serving the remainder of her sentence on supervised release. Do you think that's a light sentence, or do you think it's about right? Let me know in the comments. She will be credited with 232 days of time served.
The relationship between David Joseph Nanovic and Jennifer Lynn Lieber was both romantic and deeply complicated, marked by tension and conflict that had been building for months. David and his 10-year-old son James had moved into Jennifer's home after the tragic death of David's previous girlfriend, and their living arrangement quickly became volatile. James would later describe the household as living in hell, with frequent arguments, verbal threats, and physical confrontations between David and Jennifer.
Leave me alone. Go away and stop antagonizing me.
What do you want?
I want you to go back to your house, both of you, and leave me alone.
We both cannot leave unless we call
me
the
alone.
police. Because you have threatened your life.
I have not.
Numerous times.
Leave me alone. Go.
Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. I'm out of my depth to say if these things are psychological, physiological, or hell, even spiritual. But there are so many stories that when people do things this extreme, as soon as the pull of the trigger, the knife, as soon as the body hits the floor, whatever the act of violence is, they immediately come back to their full senses and faculties to experience the full depth of what they've done. She immediately told the cop she messed up, which was a full 180 from her mind state just prior to this happening.